welcome to the kitchen. It's a Monday afternoon and you've got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. We are going to whip up pesto for any kind of meal you want to make it for. So the star of the show is going to be the pesto, which you can make in multiple different ways we're going to talk about. And then you can pair it with whatever you like based on what you're eating right now, what's going on in your surroundings, what your kids are going to eat, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. It is a really simple meal. It sounds like it's a restaurant level meal when you think about pesto shrimp pasta, but it's really something you can whip up super fast, super quick, and super easy. We tonight have to be out of the house by 4:30, so they're going to get a half an hour from the time they get home from school to the time we got to get out. And this is going to be ready and waiting for them at that point in time. It does take a little bit of prep, like the pasta I would do ahead of time, and then everything else just whips together, and your meal's done. Again, with whatever variation you like. So we're going to start with pesto. And I'm going to do a basil pesto, but you can do all kinds of pestos based on what type of herb you prefer to use. Parsley, basil, they're all escaping the top of my head right now, but there's a ton of them. If you just Pinterest it or look it up online, pestos and different types, it works. You'll be amazed at how many different types of pestos. We're going to use pine nuts, which is, I think, the traditional version of pesto, but you can use walnuts, you can use pecans, you can use whatever, depending on allergies, things like that. You can vary it all up quite simply. So we're going to get started. I have some fresh basil leaves here. I did buy a bunch more fresh basil leaves, but something happened in my fridge over the weekend. Whether they got frozen or they were just right at the end of their expiry when I bought them, I don't know which, but anyway, they are not edible. So I'm in a little bit of a pickle. I have about 1 cup of fresh basil, so I'm going to pull in some dried basil. So for every 1.5 cups of fresh basil you'd want to put in, you're going to put three tablespoons of dried basil to equal it out. So I'm going to add 4 tablespoons because I have 1 cup. I want to bring it up to the 1.5 cups, so 1 tablespoon to complete that. Plus, I want to double the recipe, so I'm going to add 3 more tablespoons of basil into my pesto, or into my fresh basil. But first, I'm going to chop up my fresh basil, and this is a really simple way to chop up products. You see I have my chopper here as well. You can use your chopper. We're going to use that in a second for the pine nuts, so I wanted to show you some different ways. You could just put everything right into the chopper if you wanted, or if you have a manual food processor, or if you've got a magic bullet. The only thing with things that are automated is you have to make sure you don't turn it into a paste. Unless you like your pesto that way. I guess that wouldn't be a problem, but it all depends on how you want to eat it. So I've got my pesto chopped up pretty nicely here. This is a great way to keep any herbs while you're cutting them contained into the bowl. They're not escaping, they're not dragging all over my cutting board. And with the spring form on my scissors, it's just bouncing them open. So it's just a matter of squeezing the things, which makes it really, really simple. So there's my 1 cup of basil chopped down to nothing. Okay, set those aside. We're going to put those into our magic bowl here. Always fun. I love pesto, and most of my family loves pesto, so it's a nice, easy treat that most kids will enjoy. So I'm going to add my tablespoons of dried basil. Now with the dried basil, I would recommend you not eating it right away, letting it sit for about 10 minutes in the oil, just so that it can soften up a little bit. And there's our 4th tablespoon. Do you ever find, I'm having the hardest time finding basil, fresh basil right now. I can find it to grow in my garden, which will be great for the summer, but to find it in the grocery store in packages simple as this, I'm finding it to be very difficult. I'm not really sure why. I need to look that up and figure out what's going on in the world that is giving us a pesto shortage. So now we're going to go to the pine nuts. We're going to do a 1/4 cup of pine nuts. So pine nuts, again, which are a crazy price nut. If you're willing to, if you use pine nuts and you're willing to spend the money, then please use pine nuts. If it's something you don't want to spend the money on, then use a walnut or a pecan or something. So we're going to chop these. Again, I love this chopper. It is one of my favorite tools in my kitchen. Used up all the time. Now we have pesto, pine nut mush. And I'm going to do that one more time because I am doubling this recipe. Because I have a larger family and we have a big vat of pasta over here to fill. So, and if there's extras, I love to keep it in my fridge for 30 days. So, we've got our pine nuts. See how quick that is? It's fantastic. It really is one of your better tools for your kitchen when you're chopping up stuff and you don't want to use the knife for everything. Okay, so now we've got our pine nuts and our basil. We're going to add olive oil, or whatever oil you choose. I'm using olive. If you have a nice light tasting olive oil, because this isn't really going to be cooked. It's going to be heated up with your pasta, but it's not going to be cooked. So you don't have to worry about temperature settings or anything along those lines. You need to worry about slow pours, such as this. In 99% of the uses I use olive oil, this pour is perfect, except for when I need a large amount of olive oil. Then we just get to chat and wait and chat and wait and chat and wait. All right, so we have 2/3 cup olive oil going in there. I'm going to get that all set up there so that it mixes in with the dried basil as well. And we're just about almost done the pesto. Like seriously, this is the easiest thing in the world to put together. Okay, can you buy jarred pesto? Yes, you can, but I caution you, okay? I've done it, you see it, it's right here. I buy them from different sources when I need them. Please read your labels. If you are somebody who is trying to monitor certain intakes of dairy and food, different anything along those lines, you need to read your label. Like this one has a bunch of stuff in it that I have no idea what it is. Sunflower oil, which some people would not want to use right now. Glucose solids. I'm not putting glucose solids in here. I don't know, some sort of cheese. Not the cheese I'm using. Just lots of different things that you don't really know what's going in. Does it mean that you're going to have some major ill effect from eating it? No, not at all. And if you're out of time and you still want to do this, by all means, go grab pesto from the store in a jar. Like, I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm telling you to be aware of what you're doing when you do it. Okay? Because there's a number of different brands on the shelf. If you just start reading the labels a little bit, you're going to find that your brands will change. You'll find that the brands that you're comfortable with, that you think you're comfortable with, aren't the ones you are as comfortable with. Like, you'll find that you change. We get caught up into marketing and all kinds of stuff. So now we've got our pesto. I keep wanting to say basil. Pesto, we've got our 2 cloves of garlic in here, salt, pepper, basil, and pine nuts. What's left? Parmesan cheese. Here's my quick kitchen hack for Parmesan cheese. I go to Costco and I buy this ginormous bag of Parmesan. We go through a lot of Parmesan. This is my bag. I get this for like, I want to say $15. I'm not totally sure. And then last time I was at the grocery store, I bought, I don't know, this one's Kraft 100% Parmesan cheese out of the refrigerated section. And then I just keep refilling it with my frozen Parmesan. Cheaper to buy in bulk, easy to keep. I keep both of them in my freezer because it just makes it last longer. And Parmesan doesn't stick together when you're using it. So we just use that all the time. It's perfect. Just thought I'd share that with you. Everybody loves a good kitchen hack. So I'm going to put half a cup of Parmesan cheese in here. Now you can switch up the cheeses if you'd like. You can grind up your own. However, again, whatever works in your kitchen. I told you it doesn't clump together, right? Sometimes you get these little blocks like this, but the second you touch them, they all come apart. So this is a 1/4 cup. That's why I put 2 of them in. So there's my 1/4 cup, or my half a cup of Parmesan cheese, bent in, all blended in together. And now we've got pesto. What can you do with this? You could add like roasted red peppers, or you could add sun-dried tomatoes. You can do so many cool things, and this is just your base. This is your start. You can make a giant vat of this. It should last a couple of weeks. I wouldn't go much longer than that in your fridge. I want to show you how cool this looks. I wish I could show you how cool it smelt. How good can we get here? Let's do that. There's your pesto. It's perfect. So now what do you got to do? Now we've got some pasta. Maybe you're not using pasta right now. Maybe you are doing carb-free. So you've got your zoodles, your zucchini noodles, or you've got the carb-free pasta, or you're using rice or whatever else, right? You're going to put that in the bottom of your bowl. Okay, so we've got our pasta all set here. It's still a little warm. It's a little warm on the hands. What did I do today? I grilled shrimp. Do you grill shrimp every day? No, you don't. But I happen to have this in my freezer and I knew I needed to use it, so I grilled it. Super fast, like 3 minutes on the indoor grill. It was awesome. Awesome, awesome. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the pesto in before the shrimp so that it gets all mixed up. So I'm going to put this together here. Better to have a fork when you're mixing with pasta. Gets all over your pasta nicely. It's a wonderful way, easy way to do this. The heat of your pasta will heat up the pesto, and then you accent it with your shrimp. Now you've got a quick pasta meal. Quick pasta meal with some shrimp, some protein, some chicken if you'd like. Whatever is working for you in your kitchen, whatever's maybe left over in your kitchen, you don't even have to cook it that night. It's fantastic. You add it to the pesto and it's perfect. Or you can take the pesto and put it on little toasts and put a little bit of red pepper on top. You've got a perfect little appetizer. Pesto is amazing and it's so easy to make on your own. I highly recommend it. No, I'm not trying to turn you into the next Martha Stewart. I just think that when you make things from home, one, it's kind of a challenge to see what exactly this company has made millions of dollars putting into a jar and how easy you can do it on your own. Two, you now know what's going into it. So what do you need to put into it to make it taste similar to this? And then you can compare and you can say, that's interesting. They put all this stuff in here when really I only needed this much stuff. It's just an easier way and it makes you more aware. It's all about you knowing what you're putting in. So I hope you enjoyed the pesto. Take it, eat it, leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think about the videos. Please comment below. And I hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.